Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is Mr. Pearson coming to you guys with another update for physical science. It is Wednesday, December 16th, and we are wrapping up the entire Unit 1. Okay, we had a couple review activities Monday and yesterday. I've got another practice quiz I'm going to push out, making a couple of last minute adjustments just because we've done things a little bit different this semester. Okay, but that'll come out just shortly after this video. Couple things I do want to mention. All right, like I mentioned, we're wrapping up Unit 1. I mentioned the other day the nature of this curriculum, the nature of this interactions stuff is that it is very much built on top of each other. Okay, so do expect to see stuff from investigations 1 through 4 as well as investigation 5. Okay, so if you're taking notes in a notebook, maybe go through and put a post-it note and just say this is where Unit 1 stuff is, or sorry, investigation 1 stuff is. This is where investigation 3 stuff is. All right, if you are keeping maybe a virtual notebook, again, just flip through it. Make sure that you're familiar with where things are, and you should be good to go. But make sure that you're using this interactions page as well. As always, use the materials and use the resources that you have to your advantage. Okay, so we finished 5.1 through 5.4. Getting into the review folder, which I set up on Monday. Okay, we had our study guide. There's a key here. I pushed out the Atom Builder activity. And I also published a key for that this morning. A couple things I wanted to highlight. Okay. I know that we are in this virtual classroom, and Google, things like Google can be helpful. I say that tentatively with air quotes. I know that you can't see them, but I noticed specifically looking at these 3 questions and talking about protons, neutrons, and electrons that we Googled the masses. Okay. And what I wanted you guys to see specifically with the with this activity, if I expand this mass number, I see that every time I add a proton or a neutron, that number goes up by 1. Okay. They do have actual weights, and some of you guys, like I said, sort of look like some of you guys found them on Google. But to keep things simple for our elementary understanding of these particles, we can say that protons and neutrons have a mass of 1 AMU. Okay, that stands for atomic mass unit. And electrons have a mass of 0. Okay, think of it like comparing the size of the sun versus the size of maybe a basketball. Okay, sure, they are both round, they're both spheres, they both have some sort of mass, but the mass of a basketball is not going to be anywhere near to the mass of the sun. Okay, or we could compare the earth and a basketball. So because those 2 masses don't really compare to each other, we just call 1 1 and 1 0. So just wanted to clear that up. But yeah, so I went through and I sort of recreated everything you should have. Another thing here, a lot of us were sort of confused on this chart. I gave you a couple math equations that you could use. Okay, when I'm finding my net charge, I'm really taking the number of protons and subtracting the number of electrons. So if I have more protons, it's going to have a positive charge. And if I have more electrons, it's going to have a negative charge. And sort of like I was just mentioning, really, if I take the number of protons and add them to the number of neutrons, it's going to give me this mass number right here, right? I added 2 protons, 2 neutrons, 2 plus 2 gives me 4. All right, and I could reverse those equations as well. I could put them backwards and subtract instead of add, or add instead of subtract. So keep that in mind as well. So, like I said, I got a couple finishing touches to put on this practice quiz. Keep an eye out for the quiz tomorrow. And as always, shoot me any questions you guys have on Schoology, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.